everyone can take their seats, we'll start the program here momentarily. As soon as we get the military funeral honors team seated. Rich, I think you need a gun rack outside the building. The team has grown, which is awesome. The funeral honors team of Lake County is always looking for good, qualified people to join their ranks. If anyone's interested, I just thought I'd put a plug in for them. While we're getting seated, I would also like to thank the Clear Lake High School Jazz Band for joining us today. Are they awesome or what? All right. Where are we? Right on time. Okay. All right. So today is Veterans Day. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your service in our military forces. And I would like to start our program out by calling forward the Sea Scout ship Konocti Phoenix. They are our color guard today. Color guard, take it away.
They're tired.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
would like now to call forward Mr. Terry Carl, the chaplain from the Military Honors Team, to lead us in the invocation.
If you have not done so, please remove your covers and let us each go to our Creator as we deem appropriate for a time of prayer. Almighty God, the commander of the legions of heaven, humbly we bow before you. We've gathered today as veterans of the United States of America military, former members of the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. We are thankful for the opportunity that you gave us to serve this great nation, the home of the free and the land of the brave. We remember those that have passed this day, those who gave some and the ones who gave their all. We will not forget them. We pray for their loved ones and ask for your divine love, grace, and comfort to always be upon them. Be present with us this day and each day of our lives. Help us to serve our brothers and sisters who stood and are standing alongside of us. Help us to love and care for our families as they support and encourage us, and help us to lead our nation in paths that may bring peace to where we live, peace in our nation, and peace in the world. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Terry. Please be seated.
Thank you for protecting.
Again, I would like to welcome everyone here today, young and old. It's always been my motto and what I've always tried to do in getting our youngsters involved in veterans ceremonies so they can kind of put some practical information and experience along with their bookwork. You know, Vietnam War and World War II, Korea, you know, to the kids today are all ancient history. How does that make us feel that are still around? Okay. Today, I would like to say that all of this is happening because of the Lake County Supervisors, the Lake County Veteran Service Office, and the United Veterans Council. And I'm proud to be here as the newly, I don't know what you want to call it, elected, I'm not elected, but as the Lake County Service Officer. That's a new position for me, although I've been here for quite a while. So it's definitely my honor to be here to speak before you today. I had a few thoughts that I wanted to share with you. We as veterans are at times called heroes for the duties we perform during our military service. We veterans do not think of ourselves as heroes. Men and women join the military because we feel it is the right thing to do and to serve our country, and for us to feel that we have contributed in some small part to the well-being of our country and the world. With the advance of technology, we are better understanding that we, the people of the world, are actually one people. The effects of activities here can affect others thousands of miles away. So as a veteran performing our military duties in our country or other countries, we see and come to understand the special connection wherever our troops touch the lives of others around the world. This understanding of every veteran's connection to the world is what makes them special and should be honored for doing the right thing to make our world a better place. Veterans Day is only one day a year. All of us, every day, should consider our veterans' special world connection and show them we appreciate the hardships, that they have endured during their military service in the past, present, and future. Thank you for your service. I would like to have a number from the band. Okay. Thank you, Jen.
I just wanted to thank you for the privilege to play for you today. We're about to play Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA with Brian Smith soloing on alto sax and Nola Torres soloing on tenor sax. And I was so proud because the kids this year asked if they could sing part of the chorus. And I invite you to sing along.
Thank you, Clear Lake High School Jazz Band. You guys are awesome. Again. All right. I would now like to introduce our guest speaker, Assemblymember Mariko Yamada, who is currently the senior member of the Veterans Affairs Committee. And she has fought for many veterans bills in our state, affecting all of us veterans as well as our family members. So I would like now to introduce her and have her give the podium to her.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. First, first, thank you to Bob Penny for introducing me, and I want to just say what a great privilege it is for me to join you this morning for, I think, my first opportunity to celebrate Veterans Day with all of you here in Lake County. Just a teeny bit about myself. I am now completing my 5th year in the California legislature, so I have 1 more year to go. But as some of you know, the lines changed, and you used to be represented by Assemblymember Wes Chesborough for many, many years here in Lake County. He, I think, got to serve you as a member of the Assembly as well as a member of the Senate. But because the lines changed, you've got some new representatives or new choices. And so I have this honor to represent the big, beautiful county of Lake, along with 5 other counties in my district. However, my assignments in the legislature have remained pretty much the same. I've served on agriculture, water, as well as Veterans Affairs, and I also chair the Assembly Committee on Aging and Long-Term Care. And I see that a lot of the issues that are affecting our veterans today are also closely aligned with some of my other policy work. And I'm a social worker by profession, and so that's been my pathway to public service for almost 40 years. But I want to just share a few brief words with you today about why we're all here together. It is a tradition of gathering, not only here but all throughout our state and our nation, as communities, to honor the valor of millions of men and women who have defended our nation from Boston to Baghdad, from Antietam to Afghanistan. We have a long, proud heritage of people standing up to defend our country when the time required that. My own involvement with the military has been somewhat limited. When I was in high school growing up in Denver, Colorado, I was a member of the ROTC in high school. So I have shot an M1, I think maybe about 50 years ago. Don't hand me one now. But I did step down. I was supposed to assume lieutenant commander of our women's unit, but I did step down at that time because I felt that there were some other ways for me to serve. So I did not continue my own pathway into service. But the other 2 times in my own family history that we have had interactions with the military were maybe at times that weren't so happy for our country. That was for 4 years when my family was interned in the Manzanar Relocation Center in Southern California. We were sort of at the other end of military bayonets. But at the same time, my uncle, Ko Yamada, stepped up and decided to volunteer his services during World War II as a member of the Military Intelligence Service. So he, along with numbers of others, some of you may have known, some of them stepped up during that difficult chapter in our American history to serve our country and to prove the loyalty of Japanese Americans as American citizens in our nation. I know many of you here have spent your lives in defense of our nation, sometimes fighting against people that look like me. But that's why I chose, without too much of my own military background, when I joined the legislature in 2008, to step up and volunteer to request the service on the Veterans Affairs Committee. And I can tell you that it's been an amazing, wonderful, and very positive experience, as I've had the privilege of representing active duty at Travis Air Force Base. I do not have that Air Force Base in my district now, but so many families continue to be affected by what's going on throughout the world in the Solano portion of my district. I also have the privilege now of representing Yountville Veterans Home. How many of you have ever visited or seen the beautiful Yountville Veterans Home, which is the second oldest, but the oldest operating veterans home in the nation? There are many, many good things happening at Yountville, and we have to make sure that we protect and preserve this wonderful California asset and national asset to serving our veterans in their older years. And I've also been very privileged throughout my tenure to represent what I like to call the Arlington of the West. I know that Riverside National Cemetery tries to take that distinction from us. But I happen to think that the Sacramento Valley National Cemetery is one of the most beautiful in the world, and I have had some time in Washington, D.C. as well, and so know Arlington pretty well, but I think Sacramento National Valley Cemetery is just a supreme and beautiful resting place, not only for our veterans, but for our veterans' families. So what can I share with you today that I hope you will take with you in the days to come? There are a lot of good people in the legislature that are working actively to address Veterans Affairs issues. And I know that there have been many, many problems at the federal level as well as the state level. This year, the legislature took action to appropriate $3 million in what we call strike team funds to assist our veteran services officers with one-time only money, regrettably, but to augment veteran services offices in order to address the backlog of claims at the federal level. And unfortunately, the more recent federal shutdown got in the way of that a bit, but I hope that as the new year comes online, we will see a further reduction of the backlog in claims that we all know is all too painful, especially for those who are trying to address sometimes changes in the percentage of disability, as well as our newest veterans that are just coming home and are going to really swell our ranks in the next year. We're also working to address a very shameful part of our veterans' response, and that is homelessness amongst our veterans. And I think hopefully here in Lake County we don't have much of that, but throughout California and across the nation, this has been a blemish on our record of service to those who we send across to defend our freedoms, only to come home to conditions that no one should have to face. So we are already home to the largest number of homeless veterans in the country, and we are working actively to repurpose some housing bonds that will be on the ballot next year to ensure that those bonds that could be allocated specifically to veterans housing will be repurposed in the new year if the voters consent to do that. And, you know, what I like to say is we've never had such a range of veterans alive at the same time in our country. We have still some of our World War II veterans, our Korean veterans, our Vietnam veterans, all the way through to the Gulf Wars 1 and 2, and all the way up to, you know, where we are facing bringing home everyone from Afghanistan in the next year. So working in the veterans arena is a very rich and complex area, and I hope that we will have more members of the Assembly, some who have served. In fact, 3 of the members of the current Veterans Affairs Committee are veterans, and by the way, they all happen to be women. Many of them, one is a man, but there are women veterans as well. And if I may just share for a moment that one of the most recent hearings that the Veterans Affairs Committee conducted was just a few weeks ago. That was a joint hearing on some of the traumas that are suffered while serving in the military, and we need to do a much better job of addressing services for men and women and their families. When people come home, we can't just automatically expect, instantly to make that adjustment. So there are a lot of, as they say, rich and rewarding activities going on in the state legislature. So with that, I want to just again share that I feel it is a great privilege being someone from the same generation. My parents and grandparents and siblings were all behind bars essentially during World War II. But for me to now have the privilege and the honor of serving in the California legislature says to me that we must have an abiding faith in the foundational principles of our democracy. How else would I today be humbly able to serve? Because we are all proud to be Americans, and this is still the greatest country on earth. With that, I thank you so very much for allowing me to
Thank you very much. Did you want to say something, Jim?
I have no prepared remarks, but thank you for your
All right, I just wanted to mention, we also have a representative from Senator Evans' office, Mr. Jeff Tyrell? Terrell. Okay, Mr. Jeff Terrell. So I just wanted to give some recognition. Okay, at this time, I would like to hand the program over to the 4-H. And do we have the 4-H available? All right, there they are. The 4-H will be handing out thank you cards to all veterans. So if you're a veteran, if you could, when they start, if you could raise your hand so they could give you, we'd appreciate it. We're going to turn the mic over to them, let them run that.
Can I have all the 4-Hers come stand up here, please? Four-Hers, can I come have you stand up here before we start handing out cards? Alright, we're going to do the 4-H pledge for you guys. Ready, begin. As a loyal 4-H member, I pledge my head to fair thinking, my heart to your loyalty, my hands to larger service, my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Alright, go ahead and hand out cards, guys.
We work over each other.
If you're a veteran, be proud. Raise your hand so they can give you a card, please. They have worked hard on these cards to pay honor to us as veterans. As you can tell, while they're doing that, as you can tell, in planning this day, we have always made it our first priority to include our youth of our community. How else are they going to learn to honor our veterans and what they've gone through? Oh, also, I was just informed, we are honored in another way today. We have a Pearl Harbor survivor with us.
All right.
Can someone... is Mr. Bill Slater. I think he was sitting back there in the middle. Can Bill stand up so we can see who he is?
Everybody else sit down.
There he is. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for your service. Okay. How are you guys doing there, okay? Did every veteran get a card? All right. We'll let them get finished up for a moment. Our next thing on the agenda is the Lake County Veteran Service Office Friend of the Veteran Award. And I would like to ask Jim Comstock, the Lake County, one of our Lake County supervisors, to come forward. He will be doing the presenting.
Well, good morning. You know, it's a dangerous thing to do a politician in a microphone. But, you know, Bob asked me to do this as a supervisor. Supervisor is temporary. Being a veteran is forever.
There it is.
I want to read this card that a wonderful young lady handed to me as a veteran. Said, thank you for your help. Stay strong. We appreciate it. McKenna. Those things touch my heart. And I'm sitting next to a young man who's a little older than I am. He said, he's a World War II vet and a Korean War vet. And he said, you know, I'm getting old. When I see a Vietnam vet, he's old. So yeah, we are getting old. And this is a wonderful thing for the 4-H to come and to know and understand that it was a pleasure and a privilege for us to represent our country when we were called to do it. And this jazz band, I want to thank you. You are fabulous. Yes. It reminds me of something that the second President of the United States, John Adams, said, and it was somewhat lengthy. He was a tremendous statesman. I'm going to paraphrase it. But he said we study the philosophy of war and a bunch of other things. And he said, in essence, we are soldiers, so our children can be farmers, so that their children can be artists and poets and musicians. Thank you. It is my hope and prayer that you can remain musicians. And every generation of my family has served, so it hasn't worked out really well. But, and none of us were musicians, I can tell you that. But thank you for what you do. And I'd just like to thank everyone who served here and those who are at home and had to agonize every day. Our serviceman or woman was in harm's way, not knowing if they were or weren't going to come home in one piece. When we were doing it, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think anything about it. You just did it. Through missions, we did what we had to do, and you never gave it a thought. Because it was our duty, our honor, our privilege. Scared? Scared the hell out of us, yes. But we just did it. And now, I want to present this. Friend of the Veteran. This is presented to Konocti Vista Casino. And I think we must, I'm sure we have a representative here. to read this. Friend of the Veteran presented to Konocti Vista Casino for their contributions to improving the quality of life for Lake County veterans, presented to the Lake County Board of Supervisors and the County Veteran Service Office, November 11, 2013. And this beautiful young lady is here to receive this. And your name is? Heather is here to receive this. Heather? Thank you for your recognition of veterans, your support, and you probably have a few words to say.
Thank you all for coming so much. We are privileged to have you all here. We love doing this every year. We look forward to it every year. And it's our honor to have every one of you here with us. And thank you so much for doing what you've done for us with the country, past, present, and future. You're wonderful. Have a great day.
Thank you, Heather. Don't go away. Senator Yamada and Matt Hope has a presentation to make. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Heather, nice to meet you. I guess this was a surprise, is that right? Oh, well, maybe it wasn't. They told us it was a surprise. I want to present, along with Matt Pope, with Senator Evans' office. Here, let me stand on this side so you'll be in stereo with us. On behalf of State Senator Noreen Evans and our Assembly office, we are also joined, as we said earlier, by Jeff Terrell, who represents Noreen here as well. We want to congratulate you on being a friend. I believe this is the 4th year that you've hosted a growing veterans recognition event in Lake County. And I'm not sure where we're going to fit everybody. It's already standing room only, so we're going to have to work on that.
I'll make it work.
All right.
Hi, yes, just briefly on behalf of State Senator Noreen Evans, who's also part of this recognition. Just very, very pleased to be here today to honor our awardees and, of course, to take this special day to remember all those who've worn the cloth of their country, put on the uniform of their country, served, whether peacetime and wartime, at home or abroad, active duty, National Guard, Reserve. As a Navy veteran myself, just honored to be here with everybody and to take time to recognize the sacrifices that sometimes we don't always capture, and sometimes the civilian world doesn't fully understand. But thanks for all your hard work, and thanks to all of you here today.
Before we get to Frank, Mr. Bob Tucker, who is one of our elder veterans in the county, wanted to say just a couple of words.
Okay, my name's Bob Tucker. My grandchildren ask him, how old is your granddad? Nobody knows, they said. He's been around longer than dirt. I'll be 94 years old in January. I would like to know if there's anybody that served under General Patton here. Nobody. Well, I served under him for 2 years. And I'm one of the lucky ones. I came back. And I want to bless every one of you veterans that are here. Right now, I'm not in too good a shape, but in a few months, I'll be back kicking football again. God bless you all.
Thank you, Bob. As you can tell, Bob has been one of our most vocal veterans in our county. Watch out. Don't stand in his way when he wants to do something.
Pussycat.
Yeah. Us veterans know better, Bob. All right, continuing our program. I would now like to introduce Mr. Frank Parker, the President of the United Veterans Council, to present the Veteran of the Year Award.
Thank you, Bob. I want to thank Assemblymember Yamada for being our guest speaker. There's a couple of people I'd like to recognize here today. One is Kathy King Heidi. She's the VA Rural Health Coordinator out of Santa Rosa. Where you at, Kathy's a big supporter of the United Veterans Council, Lake County Veteran Connect, and the veterans of Lake County as a whole. I don't know if Marco Roding made it. He was going to try, but his boss might have sent him somewhere else. He is the homeless veteran coordinator out of the San Francisco office, and he's a big supporter of Lake County Veteran Connect as well as the council and all of our veterans. I noticed sitting up here, waiting for my turn to speak, there's a gentleman in here that came in uniform. Didn't know who he was, but I thought I'd ask. And I'd like everybody to recognize Lieutenant Colonel Robert Horn, sitting right over here, served 1945, 1995. Thank you, Robert. Thanks for coming. I've been accused of being a little windy. This is the 7th year in a row I've had the honor to addressing Lake County veterans. I thank each and every one of you for your service. You are the best. As President of the United Veterans of Lake County, I'd also like to thank you for supporting the council and all veteran service organizations within the county. Yesterday is Veterans Day, a day set aside to honor our veterans. We say thank you for your service and welcome home. To all men and women that wore the uniform of this great nation. Let's begin by thanking Konocti Vista Casino for donating this wonderful facility and the lunch to be served at the conclusion of the program. I'd also like to thank Fran and Larry Montgomery from North Shore Century for a great cake honoring our veterans. I might get a little emotional here. To our families, without you, who knows where we would be today? You have been a rock that many of us have needed. Why do I do this? Anyway, throughout our lives. At this time, I'd like to thank my wife, Susie. Without Susie's love and support, I don't know where I would be today. We all need to say thank you from time to time to those we love. And us being veterans, sometimes we think we're too tough for that. But in truth, every one of us is very soft. We must also thank those that support our endeavors assisting veterans that are less fortunate than most of us. The homeless or at-risk veterans. Veteran service organization and the private sector, like the American Legion Post 437, Umpqua Bank in Lakeport for donating space. So Lake County Vet Connect and assist veterans that are looking for help. VFW Post 2337 for hosting the United Veterans Council Lake County monthly meetings, as well donations of walkers with seats for our elderly veterans. Plus their generous donations to Lake County Vet Connect to assist our veterans. Thank you guys. Thanks every one of you. We have so many civic organizations, nonprofit, government agencies, and Lake County citizens to thank. All I can say is thank you for what you do to our veterans, for our veterans. A great example of this is the South Ukiah Rotary Club for supporting our World War II and Korean War veterans with the honor flights to Washington, D.C. and the memorials dedicated to them. If there is any honor flight veterans in here, I would like them to please stand and be recognized. Last Saturday night, at the Guitars for Troops fundraiser, a group of us learned we have a World War II female veteran that lives in Middletown who could not make the trip because her daughter could not raise $1,000 it takes to cost for her to chaperone her mother to Washington, D.C. We will find a way for her to take the trip with her fellow veterans this next April. We're going to do it. Thank you to our Lake County Military Funeral Honors team, sitting up front, a group of dedicated veterans who honor fallen veterans at the request of their families. By the end of the year, it has been forecasted they will reach 1,000 memorial services provided since the founding of the organization. I thank you all. They have performed services as many as 3 in one day. That takes a lot. We also need to mention that Lake County veterans issues are being heard by VA and CalVet. Bonnie Graham, newly appointed San Francisco Medical Center Director, has met with Lake County veterans, as has CalVet Secretary Peter Gravitt. Lake County veterans are now represented on the VA Veterans Integrated Service Network Vision 21 Management Assistance Council, as well as the VA San Francisco Medical Center Family and Veterans Advisory Council. The attitude of these government agencies are changing when it comes to rural veterans. We must work together. We must be one. When we are one, then the needed changes happen. I want to thank you for your service, each and every one of you. And I want to thank the families. Now it is my honor to do what I was originally sent up here to do, to announce the Veteran of the Year. The Veteran of the Year is one of these kind of guys he's in the background. He thinks. He works hard. Happened to see him yesterday, and he was always getting in a hurry to go do something. And that's just the way he is. He has one thought in mind, and that's to support the troops. Ron Quick, would you please step forward? In trouble, but before, I think I better get out of this and go. The United Veterans Council has changed some of the rules. The Veteran Service Organizations nominate, and the former recipients of this award make the final decision. And this year, Ron was chosen. He's an excellent veteran. Unfortunately, he was in the Navy. He's a great guy. Ron, congratulations.
Since we have a Navy veteran here from Senator Evans' office, I think I'm going to let Matt Pope take the lead on this presentation.
Well, it's a great honor to be here and recognize a shipmate on being a Veteran of the Year. So, as usual, as Frank was alluding to, it does seem like a lot of the work is done in the background by those not seeking recognition, maybe even a little mortified by this kind of recognition, standing up here today with all this attention folks on it. But that tends to be the attitude of so many of those who serve, so many of those who were willing to raise their right hand and, as the old saying goes, write a blank check to the people of the United States of America, payable up to and including my life. So we thank you very much for your service, and on behalf of the California Legislature, I want to honor your service.
Ron, you have anything to say? I think we surprised you. Ron, congratulations. Ron's quick, he's going to disappear on us. Thanks for everything you did.
I would like to, we're going to turn over the program to the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County, and I would like to call forward Terry Carroll to Is Tony?
Right here, sir.
Oh,
Can we have the team go out first?
yes, sir. Like Frank talked about, the Funeral Honors Team has been involved for several years now doing gun salutes and ceremonies for our fallen veterans. And they have done an exemplary job. They have their own bugle players, which if you've ever heard their bugles, where they play like a shadow, is that what you call it? Echo taps. There is nothing sweeter, no sweeter sound than that. We'll just give them just a few minutes to get set up, just a couple of minutes. I also want to thank, if you've been by the table out in front here, our new Lake County VA clinic personnel have been manning this table out here. If you haven't stopped to talk to them, please do. They do such an awesome job to take care of our veterans. They have a staff that's just phenomenal. They have been just growing staff, bringing specialists in, special telemedicine, yes, tell us something. But they're getting in these new technologies where veterans do not have to travel 150 miles to San Francisco. So stop by their table out here and let them know you appreciate all their efforts. They worked very hard on behalf of all of our veterans and to help get them where they should be physically and mentally. So I'll turn it over to Terry Cara now. Thank you.
The Lake County Military Honors Team was established in May of 2001. The team is led by retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant Richard Fierro. It's comprised of veterans, warriors if I may, of each of the branches of the United States American military. The Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. They have provided military honors for nearly 1,000 veterans in Lake County. And this past year, they have performed nearly 100 ceremonies, including an internment ceremony for Lorenzo Adams, a Civil War veteran. The team's buglers, Boyd Green and Bill Vaughn, have been invited to play taps at Arlington National Cemetery. The rifles they use are 1903 Springfields. And as those of you that are war buffs and know weapons, you'll recognize that as being the long rifle for World War I. Veterans, family members, and our distinguished guests, it is fitting for us to take time and remember and honor our brothers and sisters who have died. We who are veterans understand what the words duty, honor, and country mean. Some gave some gave their all. We will not forget them. We will honor their sacrifice and their service. In a few moments, following a time of silence and reflection, the team will render 3 volleys of fire, followed by the playing of taps. On the first note of taps, veterans and those currently serving, please render a hand salute. We ask our loved ones and all others to please place your right hand over your heart at that time. Please rise if you're able for a moment of silence. Fire Team Commander, render honors.
Sergeant of the Guard, issue 3 volleys.
you, Terry, and thank you, the funeral honors team. Wonderful job as usual. We have come to the end of our program, and again, I want to thank you for joining us today. It's been an honor for me. I would like to thank Assemblymember Yamada. Thank you very much. I would like to thank Konocti Vista Casino. Jenny Craven, who helped set all of this up with this casino. Thank you, Jenny. I'd like to thank the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County. I'd like to thank our color guard, the Sea Scout ship, Konocti Phoenix. One of our veterans saw our Sea Scouts in uniform and thanked them for their service. We haven't quite gotten there yet. And I would like to thank the United Veterans Council, Mr. Frank Parker. And I would like to thank the Avenue Flags. If any of you have not gone out to the cemeteries and seen the flags flying, please, it is a mind-blowing sight. If you ever they put the flags out like around 7 o'clock in the morning, and they take them down about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're always looking for help to do that. They will be taking them down at 4 o'clock today. But please, go out to any of your local cemeteries. Kelseyville, Hardley, Lower Lake, where else? Upper Lake, right. Please, any of those cemeteries, the sight of all of those flags flying along the roads going through the cemeteries is just an awesome sight. And if that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, nothing will. So, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day, and thank you very much.